thought sawhorses would be a good place to start. It's a pretty essential tool to be building the things I want to be building in the future. Going to be working on a lot of picture frames and such, so definitely need a platform to work on, which I don't have, and you'll see later on what I do actually have, and it's subpar. So the portion of this video that is how not to build sawhorses is, I'm definitely an amateur carpenter. Everything I've learned from my dad, and that's nothing on his skills. He is extremely way more skilled than I am. I just take the bare bones of what I learned and apply it the best I can. The part of the video that is how to build sawhorses is to use recycled materials and to let your dog follow you around the hole. All the materials for this build come from an old half pipe that I had in my backyard that my dad built me for when I was a child. I used it. I used it until its final days. It just eventually some parts rotted, and it was. So we took as much wood from it as we could and saved it until we needed it, and now I need it. These boards were like the support pieces that go underneath the part that you ride on, which kept them from getting affected by the weather like everything else. So now I'm just taking any remaining screws out. There's my lovely wife, Sarah. I hope you like long shots of a pile of nails slowly growing. These aren't nails, they're screws. It's hard being stupid. And now it's time to cut the legs down to size so that the platform will be at about hip level. I'm using a jigsaw. I probably should be using a different saw, but this is all I have. You can see what my current sawhorse setup looks like, and that would be two 2x4s resting on a slightly elevated concrete piece. It's lackluster, and Rocco doing his thing in the background is, that's about how I feel about my current sawhorse setup in this video. So thanks, Rocco, for that one. Using the board I just cut as a measuring tool. I'm using a screw as a pencil, and yeah, this is very DIY. Again, very amateur carpenter. Yeah, I'm sorry for anyone watching this that actually knows what they're doing. I guess safety comes third. Yeah. And for this part of the video, you absolutely have to have a degree in math. I don't know how you could get these angles perfect like I did otherwise. Yeah, I mean, I just have a mental protractor that's always going, and I just nail my lines perfectly every time. Of course, I'm trying to exhibit some level of facetiousness. None of this stuff is perfect, it just needs to work. So I'm showing you detailed steps of how I build the first one. I'm about want to attach the legs to the spine of the sawhorse. Yeah, we'll call it the spine. This is where trouble started to come in. This first screw went in like all the other ones, but this second tried to give me a run for my money. So yeah, I struggled with this for a little while. My drill didn't feel powerful enough, but I was just rolling with it. Some of the screws weren't driving all the way. It was at this point I realized I needed to change my drill battery, but I was very reluctant to do so just because I didn't want to have to leave the project. But here I am back with a new battery, and I changed my drill setting from the high power setting to the lower power setting, which I guess has something to do with torque. I'm not actually sure, but it worked, and that's all that matters. So here's the first sawhorse completed. Stability test passed with flying colors. And here's a time lapse of the second sawhorse. A keen eye would have revealed that I put that second leg on wrong, but we'll figure it out eventually. And here I am thinking that success has befell upon me when I haven't noticed that I put the second leg on the second sawhorse on wrong. I think I'm done. I invite Rocco over for a congratulatory pet. Only for me to realize something's awry. Should I fix it? Yes. Alright, now that we have two proper sawhorses, we gotta figure out how to store them. My first idea was to put them in the small woodshed that I have, but it can only fit one comfortably. And Rocco shares my disdain for this discovery. So I decided to clear off this area instead. It's still blocked from the weather. A little less blocked. Tried to put it on the top of the table, but that didn't work. So I just decided to snug it up next to the wall. So the takeaway of this video should be that wood is expensive and recycled materials are the best.